Hello everybody, welcome to Nago Tarot Odyssey. How is everybody? Thanks again, Christina, for this deck as well. I love this Dream Ritual Oracle cards. They're so peaceful and simplistic, and they just land so beautifully calm, like in the illustrations. I just love them. That's why I chose calm. I love this little teacup with plants coming out of it, and a beautiful French window. Sometimes images and words can just absolutely transport us. And in order to be transported to the calm, sometimes I'll look up words that just infuse my mind with that. Like calm has like even, friendly, gentle, good-natured, harmonious, unflappable, serene, mellow, mild, placid, radiant, untroubled, rest assured, self-assured. All of those beautiful words that just mean we're not going to be pulled away from a sense of calm and balance. It's just not going to happen. And some of the wonderful rituals that come for calming with me is I create a sacred space. It means I am in a place that is calming and far removed from noise and distraction. I love my bedroom. I love my office. I love my car when I'm at a park or beach and I can only hear the waves or the wind. Beautiful, so restful. And I feel like it is paramount this time of year that we do this for ourselves, that we create these little havens of bliss and calm with a great cup of coffee where there's sort of motionless energy, neutral, noiseless. And it's very pacifying, right, to be in our own orbit. And just remind yourself, we're only as busy as we convince ourselves we have to be. So it's like, we do not need to go into another store. We can have that brought to us. We can Instacart that. We can, if push comes to shove, our peace of mind is more valuable than money. And I like to think of money as just a crazy construct. It literally is a bunch of digital things that float through the air. I'll give you this and you send this, and this is transported here and there. And something that also brings me a sense of calm, weirdly enough, is reading from a regular paper book. Sit down with a book. It is like those halcyon days of there's no disturbing lights from a computer. It's just peaceful page. It's just you and the book. And I feel like I read this thing and I loved it so much, and I think it has to do with all of these calm, gratitude, and synchronicity. It says, literally escape and create that fantasy world and get into it and act as if you're existing in there. So a good thing to read with that is, again, sci-fi and things like that, and get encapsulated in that world. It removes us from any of those harried and pushy thoughts that come in, because we're immersed in a place of magic and make-believe. I just love anything that's like just pulls you in, like Lion Witch in the Wardrobe. Oh my gosh, that just is like, hello, you're out of reality into this wonderful magical world. So a book and a cup of tea, please. That is like the quintessential calming. So let's look into gratitude. Number one thing for me, as soon as I wake up, I think of a few things that I am grateful for, and it just gets me in that headspace, and it's so wonderful. So if you can do that for yourself, think, what am I grateful for today, right now? 3 things that went well. I'm happy to be alive today because my favorite thing about today was today. I'm looking most forward to a person in my life I'm thankful for, something I learned today. It really just brings wave after wave of these wonderful reasons to have gratitude. I just finished watching The Fall of the House of Usher, and each of the stories is based on Edgar Allan Poe stories. It is dark and wonderful, but there are moments where I just call her the Raven because I don't want to give anything away, where she brings these insights to people and their principles and their compass, and they really get what they ask for. And sometimes when people want immediate gratification, or they just want, it is an empty pit that is never filled. And how things that we think are the glistening, wonderful things, like if we could be given anything, I'm always in awe how people are like, I want millions and billions of dollars. I rarely hear in any movies people are like, I want serenity and health and great peace of mind for me and my family. You know what I mean? And money is another thing. That's a gateway. Sometimes when we have these things where people just consume, it's so vapid, like, and just endless and ridiculous. And just some of the things that she brings to the surface in people's desires, because want begets more want and all of that. I was like, ooh, it really is the opposite of gratitude to say, wow, I not only have enough, I have more than enough, and I have so much gratitude for it. It's so wonderful. But of course we always have those impulses because they're flashed at us on every screen. Buy this, see this, do this, consume this. It's like, no. I want to work with the beautiful materials I already have and put them to use. I don't want to waste them. I don't need to buy a bunch of new food when I have a refrigerator full of stuff and I have flour and I can make cakes, all of these things. It's so invaluable, that gratitude, and it only begets more gratitude, and it brings more things in for us because the universe sees this and it's so high frequency. Honestly, love and gratitude, super through the roof high frequency and vibration, and brings in more of that, which brings us to synchronicity. Look for them, look for the numbers, look for the license plates, look for the signs, the feathers and the keys and the beautiful things that show you we are with you. Our ancestors are with us, our guides are with us, the love is with us. We are not distracted by the mundane and the silly, and we're not sheep. We're not being herded along. Look over here, buy this. One of the things, again, in the fall of the House of Usher that really blew my mind was when she was talking about how, like, government and all these other offices, they try to control and direct and have people get in debt, so they have to do this to feel better and take these drugs to escape and consume more and just be in this cycle. And it just brought so much to my attention of that if we're not paying attention, we can easily step on that path, right? Let me just have this little thing to make myself feel better. But now that I've overindulged in that, I'm going to need aspirin, and I'm going to need this to feel better, and then I'm going to need this. And it's like, I'm quite excited about, like, my consumption of things like that. I rarely, maybe once or twice a year, even have a headache or anything, and usually that's just when I push myself too far, that I don't need pharmaceuticals, I don't need all of that stuff. And it's such a different kind of mindset for people that feel like they have a dependency on something, right? And you see weird addictions out there, and a lot of it has to do with consuming and buying or junk food or things like that. And it's just a pattern that's set. It's just a weird habit that is formed, but we can undo these habits. I'm telling you, I used to have the craziest, like, habits of just almost like escapism of, if I just do this and I act like this isn't happening, it'll go away. You know what I mean? That sort of thing. It's like, no, confrontation isn't fun, but you must say this to this person, or this will continue. You must pay off this debt, or it'll be that looming thing in your head for a long time. Let's do this. Take care of things. Be aware of how awesome a clear conscience is when we tell the truth to people, when we are honest, when we are fastidious, when we're true to our word. And it really does matter. And synchronicities are always around there to show us too that we can do this. But it does start with a calm headspace, feeling grounded, having gratitude for our life, those in our life, things that are brought to our attention that we need to see and do a little bit of work on, and no shame and no judgment on yourself or anybody else whilst you're doing it. I sometimes freak out when I see any kind of reality show, and I'm like, and you see a mom go, no, you're a bad girl or you're a bad boy, and they're not focusing on the behavior, but they're actually calling their child a bad person. I'm like, like the things where we have to bring awareness to the moment and not perpetuate cycles or revisit things that our parents without the knowledge did to us. It is like, I feel each generation it gets better, this awareness of knowing that words matter again, and we want to be in that calm space. We want to bring in non-judgment, we want to bring in unconditional love with communication that is rich and enduring and unharmful, for sure, right? I find you guys out there, in the metaverse to be fantastic. I love the fact that people want to improve and expand. And that's what a lot of these sort of channels are about: insights on yourself and growth that that you're trying to find for yourself. And it happens every day in little ways sometimes, and sometimes in big magical ways, sometimes just through words or phrases or a program, or this time of year there's these beautiful wonderful videos on people that show up in a big way for people that don't have what they need this time of year. And it's heartwarming, and it's enriching, and it's beautiful. And those are the things that we should be paying attention to right now, because they soothe the soul, and it shows that there is warmth and love and compassion and empathy out there in the ways that it should be. So my beauties, that is what you are meant to hear. I hope you all have a great day. Love and light.